This is Stephanie from Let's Talk Bitcoin. I'm here talking with Tai Zen from Next.
Yeah.
Hi, Tai.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Glad to have you here. We've been trying to reach out to you guys for a while now, so glad to meet up here at the Texas Bitcoin Conference.
Yeah, it's great to talk to you, too. We are at the Texas Bitcoin Conference. And what is Next for someone who's never heard of it?
Okay, so Next is a second-generation cryptocurrency, and it's a 100% second generation. It is not a knockoff of the Bitcoin source code. It's not a duplicate. It's not a copy and paste. The inventor of the Next source code is a person named BC Next, and we think that he's from Europe or from Russia somewhere. And it's a completely new source code that's written in a completely different language. It's in Java, and so it's not like the other altcoins that you see.
Right, so this has been designed from the ground up, and it has some different features that are not included in Bitcoin 2 at the current moment.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, exactly. What happened was that BC Next saw that there was a lot of features that was missing from the Bitcoin protocol. So when he created this, and I say he, it could be a she. We don't know, okay? It's anonymous.
Like Satoshi from Next, yeah.
Yeah, so BC Next created this source code called Next, and he did it from scratch. And he built in all the features into it that was not available in the Bitcoin source code, and also the features that you cannot add to the Bitcoin source code now, because it would drastically affect, a lot of people.
And yeah, when I said that, I was talking about messaging and a distributed exchange. Is that right?
Yes, they have a messaging system. They have right now, the biggest thing that they're working on is the peer-to-peer asset exchange because of the situation with Mt. Gox, and there's a big demand in the market for a peer-to-peer exchange that has transparency to it and that's not centralized. So they have the test net out, and people can go to the next thread at Bitcoin Talk, or go to nextcoin.org or nextcrypto.org, and they can sign up and use the testnet and help develop it.
Wow. So, a lot of people are talking about doing distributed exchanges with Bitcoin, but yes, this is actually already happening?
Yes, it's already, there's already I'm not sure if it's the alpha version. I'm not a coder, I'm not a developer. I just help with the marketing team, but I know that they have the testnet out, and I've seen a lot of people test it already. They're actually right now in the process of testing exchanging Doge coins and other altcoins through the asset exchange. So it's really exciting times, and there's a lot of development going on.
Such wow.
Yeah, such wow. Yeah.
All right. So every Next wallet is a Brain wallet by default. Is that right?
Yes. BC Next decided that to avoid confusion and everything, they set it up as a Brain wallet initially. Right now, there are 7 clients or 7 wallets that's been put out, and they all use some type of Brain wallet. Which for the listeners, the Brain wallet is where you just put in the long password, and that creates the entire account. So, in order for you to activate a Next account, you would have to create it, and then myself or somebody else that owns Next would have to send you a few Next coins so that it activates your account.
Yeah, or you could buy them on an exchange like Cryptsy, right, or Beater,
yes,
right?
Yes, you can buy it from Cryptsy, you can buy it on Beater.com, or you can buy it on DGEX, which is the first nextexchange.com, and send it to yourself, and that will activate the account also. So tell me about the sending and receiving of Next, because I know that there's not like mining like there is with Bitcoin with Next. They have something called transparent forging, right? Yes, and the transparent forging is completely different from the Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin mining that serves 2 purposes. Several purposes. One is to process the Bitcoin transactions, to secure the network, and to mint new coins. The Next transparent forging is very unique and very revolutionary, because instead of minting new coins, the only thing that it does is it uses what's called a proof of stake process. And what that does is it only allows you to process transactions. There's no new Next coins created. There's 1 billion Next coins that were created from the original source code on the day that it was launched and released, and that's it. So everybody just recycles those 1 billion coins.
And so how did the coins get distributed? I think that's something people want to know about.
Okay, so there's a big controversy with the Next, because the 1 billion Next coins were distributed through similar to what an IPO process is. And so BC Next put up an announcement for a certain period of time. I think it was like a month or a month and a half, where if you, he was trying to raise 21 Bitcoins. And if you were willing to send in 1 Bitcoin, you got that percentage of the 1 billion next. So it's a proportional and percentage-wise base. So a lot of people say that it's pre-mined and they have an issue with that.
So there's only 21 people that got next in the first round. Is that what you're saying?
No. It's not 21 people. It's if you sent in half of a Bitcoin or a quarter of a Bitcoin or a tenth of a Bitcoin, you got that percentage of the 1 billion next.
Got it.
Okay, so no, it's not 21 people. There were actually 73 original stakeholders, and they all sent in the next. Right during that IPO period, and during that time, the BC Next distributed, and there's I think around 13 million or so that were unclaimed. So whoever sent in the Bitcoins to get Next started, they didn't claim it. So we use the community. The Next has a very strong community, and they use those 13 million unclaimed Next coins, and to develop the infrastructure and for marketing. Mm-hmm. So.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so the clients for Next, there's 7 clients out that you mentioned, and
yes.
This seems like they're really prolific with coming out with these clients. It's only a few months old, and now there's already lots of different ways to use it.
Yes, it's one of the more popular second generation currencies, and after 100, like around 100 days now that it's been out on the market, there have been there's a lot of developers that enjoy the fact that Next is not a copycat of Bitcoin and that it's an original source code. So the people that are looking to pour their time and effort and coding abilities into an altcoin, they chose Next because of its non-copycat nature. And so right now we have approximately 7 clients. A lot of them are open source, so their code can be reviewed, but they're being in development right now. And you can go to NextClient.com, I think, or NextClient.org. It's one of those sites. It contains all 7 of the clients that people can choose from. Or you can go to any of the NextCoin.org or NextCrypto.org and find those clients also.
Okay, and there's an actual store where you can buy stuff with Next. Is that right?
Now,
I've seen that.
I haven't seen that yet. You know, I mean, the developments in the Next community are coming so fast that it's kind of hard. It's challenging to keep up with everything too. So now that you mention it, now I'm aware that there's a Next store. So.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, speaking of open source, the Next, I don't know what you call it, the Next code became open source recently, right?
Yes. There's something that's very unique about the Next source code. When Next was released, they did 2 things that I thought that was pretty cool about it. One was that they purposely injected it with 3 security flaws at different levels. Okay, so they did that on purpose, and they announced it to the community. So that, and the reason why they did that was because if anybody wanted to copycat the source code when it was launched, it would be a problem because the source code has 3 security flaws in it. And at the same time, those 3 security flaws was also an invitation. They put that in there to invite people in the crypto community to inspect the source code, and whoever found those security flaws would receive a very large bounty. So it's to prevent copycats. It's to for security reasons they did that. And the other thing that they did with the Next source code that was very unique is that they made it so that they were several versions ahead. So whatever features when they came out the alias system, the messaging system, every time they came out with a new feature, they would be 2 or 3, like a couple of features ahead before they released the source code.
Right.
To everyone. And so that they were always ahead, so that if somebody tries to copy it, because you know as well as I do that a lot of people are trying to copy these different codes that people come out with,
sure.
And they're not willing to put in the time and the effort to develop it, but they're willing to copy other people's and change a few parameters. So
right.
Those are the reasons why the Next source code was released the way it was.
That's interesting. Wow. So, okay, I mean, what are your favorite things about Next? Why are you passionate about it?
The biggest thing that drew me to Next was that I was looking for, I thought that Bitcoin was one of the most revolutionary technologies that takes power away from the 1% on Wall Street and give it back to the 99% on Main Street. And I wanted to help pitch in with Bitcoin, but I'm not a coder, I'm not a programmer, and I come from a sales and marketing background, so I could not help out them with that because there's enough people on CNBC and Bloomberg to help promote Bitcoin. So what I did was I looked at the different altcoins and what was available that needed help. And I looked through hundreds of them, and they all, to me, were just a copycat of Bitcoin. They had one or two features here, but there was nothing spectacular that got my attention. And my colleague, Leon, he introduced me to Next, and he said, hey, you said you didn't want to help with these other altcoins because they were just a knockoff of Bitcoin. Well, here's one that's not. It's an original source code. So I started looking and researching into Next, and I saw how that it was put together. At first, I was turned off by the proof of stake, the pre-mine, the 1 billion coins that was distributed. And but then when I learned what the proof of stake was, it changed my mind. So I was able to get more involved into it. And so here, I'm actually here representing, being an ambassador for Next. I help out on their marketing efforts. So here I am at the Texas Bitcoin Conference.
Great, Tai. Well, anything else you want to add about where do people find out more online if they're curious?
The adoption of a new coin has always been the biggest challenge for all the coins, and so what I've done is if you go to my Freedom blog, it's at prisonofreedom.com / 2014 Texas Bitcoin Conference. I have the instructions there in a video there of how to download, verify, and install the Next client. And then if you leave a comment there, if your audience leaves a comment there with their Next account number, I will send them 4 Next coins just to get their account started so they can see how it works.
Great, right? Very cool.
We have a very supportive community, and we like to help each other out. So if your audience wants to test out Next and see how it works, they're welcome to come to prisonofreedom.com and leave a comment with their account, and I'll send them some Next to try out.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much. This has been great.
And thanks for having us on Let's Talk Bitcoin, and look forward to seeing you guys again at the next conference.
Right, at the next conference.
CryptoKit is the world's first Chrome browser Bitcoin wallet. It's the easiest, fastest Bitcoin wallet payment system. With a simple one-click install, it takes just seconds to get your wallet set up. And because CryptoKit finds the address and payment for you, there's no more fussing around or tab switching. CryptoKit is more than just a wallet. It comes with a preloaded PGP encrypted social network, news feeds from Reddit and Google, and up-to-date charts from exchanges. Finally, CryptoKit Directory allows you to make 2-click payments with any of the BitPay merchants. Once you install CryptoKit, you won't need anything else. For more information or to download CryptoKit, visit CryptoKit.com.